everybody. Decided that today's topic was going to be a basic topic, something that is like I would say, kind of the start or where I started in my spirituality journey, and that is with chakras. There are over 100 chakras. Chakras is a Sanskrit word for wheel, and it basically is an energy center within the body, right? There are seven chakras that in spirituality and in Buddhism and other religions that are focused on. And those seven chakras, of course, the root, the sacral, solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. So let's talk a little bit about those, right? The first one is the root chakra, and each chakra is associated with a color. It's not only a color, it also is associated with some sort of energy field and how that energetic force field affects your life. So the root chakra is red, color associated with it is red, and it is down. So if you're a woman, even a male, I like to say if you are using your Kegels, it's in that region. When you squeeze that. So if you're listening to Joe Dispenza and he's telling you squeeze in the root chakra, he's your Kegels. So it's down in that area. And the root chakra, it is often associated with like the home, being grounded, your safetyness, and just how you are grounded in your life and your world. If your root chakra is blocked, then you don't feel safe, you don't feel comfortable in your home. Maybe you're suffering experiences like homelessness, or the threat of a loss of a home, or an invasion of a home, something of that sort. It also shows up as far as how you trust people, your safety net. So I think about it like this: when I was a little girl and I'd get in trouble, or you think trouble is coming, first thing you do is you kind of flex that kegel. You hold it in. The next thing is having to use the restroom, but we'll get to that in a second. But that's kind of how you know when it's affected, and when it is blocked, it presents challenges, and we'll get into those challenges. So the second um, chakra is the sacral chakra, and it is associated with the color orange. And the emotions include sexuality, pleasure, and so the sacral chakra is um, right kind of above your growing area, right within that region, right? And that's why, of course, it's associated with sexuality. And when that is blocked, you suffer issues like urinary tract infections, impotency, um, lower back issues, um, dry vagina. You don't necessarily feel um, sexual or excited about that act, right? Those are signs that sacral chakra is blocked. And for a lot of people, that could get blocked, say, from some sexual trauma, rape, having sex, being forced into sex, being molested. If you watch the movie Carrie, for example, and her mom was, you know, treating her like a villain because she didn't want her to be sexual. So she said you have dirty pillows, which were her breast, and put her in the closet when she thought about boys. Those types of things will create a block in your sacral chakra. Moving on up, we're now going to the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is right below the navel area, and it is, of course, associated with the color yellow. When it is blocked, you have, let's say, indigestion, acid reflux, And though the sacral and the solar plexus, in my opinion, they kind of work in conjunction with each other. That's not to say that all the chakras don't work in conjunction with each other. They do. But when I first got into spirituality, folks were like, well, maybe one of your chakras is blocked, and usually it's more than one. And if the sacral is blocked, then usually it has affected the solar plexus, and so on and so forth. And I say that to say, you think about, again, if something is wrong, you get butterflies, right? That feeling, that's right there in your solar plexus, and it is telling you, problem, something's happening, or I'm nervous. Um, when that is blocked, that of course creates um, kind of a low self-esteem, right? And actually, it's not, it's right above the navel. I'm sorry, I said that wrong earlier. It's right above the navel. And so, kind of like right under your sternum. And so, when it relates to self esteem, you think when you have positive self esteem, you tend to sit up. And if you can see my thumb, it's right there, right? And so, when people sit up, you think, oh, it's sitting up in the back. Well, usually you're poking out kind of your sternum area. That is your solar plexus. So if your self-esteem is high, you tend to have your solar plexus forward in the world. You tend to stand up and look up, as opposed to being sunk in and hung down. That's usually indicative of a low self-esteem. The next one, of course, is the heart chakra. And the heart chakra, it ties the lower chakras to the higher chakras. And when the heart chakra is unbalanced, it creates lots of problems. And I say that to say we are all connected, right? And because we're all connected, even if you think of a person and they're really smart, they're genius, let's see, like Stephen Hawking, for example, really smart person, but how many people are involved in their lives, right? That's usually a sign that the heart is blocked. And I have nothing against Stephen Hawking. I'm just giving an example of someone that is incredibly smart, right? You often find, for me, like my heart chakra was definitely blocked. And because my heart chakra was blocked, I thought very rational with the brain as opposed to through emotion. So when you have someone, say for example, that person is in business and she's really smart, can do all things, but you don't like that person, you tend not to do business with them because you can't empathize and they can't empathize with you. That was certainly a problem with me, right? I could rationalize things, black and white, immediate. But I knew if I stepped on your toes, ouch, that hurt. I can understand that. But somebody said something to hurt your feelings. Well, get over it, as opposed to me understanding and being able to empathize with that person and know that person may need some love and some care, right? So you want to make sure that the heart chakra is not blocked. That chakra is associated with green. And for me, initially, I was like, green? The heart is red. But think of the heart chakra and life. And if you think of the heart chakra and life, think of when things are growing, like trees and plants, they're green. When it's spring, things are being born. It's usually green, right? When things are red, that's a problem. So the heart chakra, again, is associated with green. And then you have, of course, your throat chakra, which is right in your throat area. Um, and it symbolizes communication. When the throat chakra is blocked, people often have trouble feeling like they are heard. They don't feel heard. They don't feel that they can express them things. A lot of people who join Toastmasters, for example, they go there to learn how to express themselves and how to become a better person and use their oracle skills. I'm going to get it right sooner or later. And learning how to express themselves. That even, for example, being on YouTube and talking to a group of people, feeling some sort of reservation about that is usually some sort of indication that your throat chakra is blocked. Then, of course, you have the magnificent third eye, and the third eye is so awesome. It is associated with the color indigo, and it is generally considered to be here in between the eyebrows. The funny thing is that at some point in time, I think scientists have said that they have made a discovery that there was a human with an actual, like an eye here. But because we stopped using that, we evolved and no longer needed it. And so we have two eyes. Now, your two eyes here, they are wonderful. And of course, they help you to translate energy into physical form. And we'll get into that at another time. But the third eye is the eye that it helps you with intuition. It helps you with using your powers most associated with the higher self. So, like for movie buffs, I like the movie Lucy. Lucy is with, I think her name is Scarlett Johansson. I have to look that up. But in any event, she took this drug, and it's DMT, or people now use, I can think of the name of it, but it's a drug that they use. You go to a ceremony and you use this drug, and it helps you to kind of hallucinate, so to speak, right? And interact with your inner being or your higher self. Well, when it's said that the third eye is open, you have the ability to do that on a regular basis. And here's the kick. So, of course, you know that you are with God. I don't care what religion, if you're atheist, not, well, atheist maybe not. But when you realize that there's something higher, and maybe some people don't necessarily believe in some big man sitting up in the sky, right? Looking down, judging you all day. But you realize that you are one with that higher being, which is creation. You realize that you have wonderful gifts, and when that third eye is open, those gifts include, again, intuition, clairvoyance, telepathy, clairaudience. It allows you to manifest instantly. It allows you to see other realms that are intertwined with this earthly realm. We'll have discussions about that. Hopefully, you'll stick around long enough so that we can talk about that too. And then, of course, you have your crown chakra, and your crown chakra is right above your head. That color is, back up. So your third eye chakra is associated with indigo. The color is indigo. Your crown chakra is violet. And your crown chakra is your higher awareness. So for me, my interpretation is that the crown and the third eye, they work in conjunction with each other. Just like your solar plexus and your sacral kind of intertwine, so do your third eye and your crown. And for all intents and purposes, people like Buddha or Jesus, the ascended masters, had full use of their crown chakra and their third eye. You too can have use of that. You just are not in remembrance at the moment. And because you're not in remembrance, that means that the God in you have moved away from it so that you could have a human experience. In having that human experience, just think about it, okay? So I want to enjoy everything I created, but if I know that I'm God, then I know how this is going to turn out. I know I'm going to win every game. I know I'm going to succeed at everything I do. And truthfully, we can. I know what you're thinking. I can read your mind. You can read mine too. But when you first get here, that's not the point. The point is to enjoy that which you have created. We come into problem when, as children, things happen to us: molestation, rape, spankings, just being terrified out of our minds, sometimes being abandoned, foster kids, those different traumas that we have put ourselves through. And I say we put ourselves through it. Um, right now, you may not agree because you may say, I didn't do that. My mama did that, or my dad did that. But we'll get into that if you stay around long enough, and we'll address those and see um, how true that actually is, right? Um, but again, those traumas cause you to close down your chakras. And when you close down those chakras and block them, again, with your root, you don't feel safe. With your throat, you don't feel heard. With your heart, like, there are some people, I met this guy one day, and he was like, I don't know what love is. Right? I just say I love you, but I don't know what that is. And strangely enough, I didn't either. I kept saying, well, I'm supposed to feel something different for some people, and I know if you bother this person, I'm ready to tear your head off, and I'm ready to defend them. But what makes that love and this not love, right? So those traumas that we suffer when we come into the world help to block those chakras. And strangely enough, or unknowingly enough, those challenges are put before us because we can overcome them. And we are meant to do that. We are meant to have the challenges so that we can see just what we are and how wonderful we are and how loving we are. In the meantime, like, I don't want to go too deep into too much. I just wanted to start with the chakras and ask you to kind of consider those things, the colors, and what the association of those chakras are. And then we can move further into more discussion about them on our next visit. You also, one side note, have chakras in your hands, and they're wonderful. I'll teach you a trick. Stay tuned and come back tomorrow. If you come back, I'll show you. It's not even really a trick. It's just something that you may not be aware of. I'll teach you how to feel your auric body, your energetic being. It is so fantastic. So I thank you for watching. I hope that this has taught you some things. Leave me a comment, or let me know if you have a question, or if there's something specific that I haven't addressed that you want me to address. I think tomorrow I'll show you how to use the chakras in your hand, as well as I'll tell you give you some tools and some things to help you to unblock your chakras, right? And for me, again, let me say this clearly, I don't think that one chakra usually is blocked. When chakras are blocked, I think that more than one is blocked, and there are things that you can do to clear them. So I hope this helped, and I hope you enjoyed our time together. Thanks so much, and talk to you soon.